Shape the dough right on the baking sheet. Take out the green dough and divide it into small pieces. Pinch a piece of dough and make a ball. Roll it with the central part of your palm to get a curvy roll. If you want to make a part of the roll narrower, squeeze that place with the fingers and roll only that side. Lay out the rolls straight or slightly bended. Now you will need an ordinary teaspoon. With the handle of the teaspoon, make a dip as for the fingernail. You can leave it empty as it was torn out, but remove the excess on the sides. You can use almonds to simulate the nail plate. Choose the flattest and sharpest nuts. Press it down well. Remove the excess with a fondant tool or a palette knife, cutting out the dough on both sides of the nut. If the dough on the sides is wider than the nut, the dough can rise a lot and then you will get such thick fingers after baking. If you want cookie fingers to be thinner, then try to have the dough not wider than the nut. Dough excess can always be cropped. Take a teaspoon. Use this curved part. Add wrinkles on the cookie fingers. Just 2 lines here and 3 there. To get smooth cookie surface without cracks and any wrinkles after baking, dip your fingers in flour and spread it on the dough surface. Spread the flour thoroughly. The dough should become made. This will help the cookie to be smooth after baking. If some wrinkles were erased during spreading of the flour, then add them again. Take out of the oven. If you need to make a topper, immediately after baking, put a stick in the hot dough. Carefully transfer the cookie onto the cooling rack. Leave it to cool down. When the dough cools down and hardens, you can take the stick with the cookie finger and decorate, for example, a cake with it. Please note one of the main mistakes. There are gaps in the cookies, as if there were air bubbles. It is okay for the witch fingers. Their hands are wrinkly and ugly. If you do other cookie designs, then these cracks are a huge problem. They appeared because you missed one of the main steps before baking, spreading the flour on the dough. Look, this cookie has a smooth surface. It was spreaded with flour before baking. Compare it with this pitted cookie surface. Here, the step of the spreading of the flour was skipped. If you use a freshly mixed dough, not from the fridge, then it will rise much more in the oven. Compare the volume of the cookie fingers before and after baking. Keep this in mind when shaping the dough. So, don't roll very thick fingers from the freshly mixed dough. Make them thin and you will get nice cookies like this after baking. Keep the width of the dough the same as the width of the nut, then you will get such delicate fingers. If it doesn't matter to you, then the cookie fingers will be wider and larger. In order to make the nail more embedded, make this part of the dough thinner right below the nut, as I showed you before in the video. If you want to make a creative manicure, then you will need a brush and dies. I have edible food gouache. This is a food paste which includes titanium dioxide for color density. If you don't have this type of dye, then make it yourself. Mix any food color gel with white, powdered or gel consistency. If you use ordinary gel dyes, it will not cover the color of the nut. As always, dilute the food color paste with water. Carefully paint nails with flat brush. Of course, you can create any design. Paint as if there is blood dripping here instead of the nail polish, or add any patterns wording a skull. When the food color paste dries and doesn't stick to your fingers, it means that Cookie Witch's fingers are ready. After drying, the color of the nail polish may become a little darker. Take icing of the flat consistency. Flat icing as if there are drops of blood. Put something to lift the cookie finger up. Put to dry this way, so the liquid icing flows down naturally. We can stop at this stage or work a little more and add highlights. Take the food color gel that you used for dough coloring. Dilute it with water. Dip a flat brush in it and taste it on the paper. Considering that the light is above the finger, darken its sides. Take a lot of color mix on the brush. Paint the sides of the cookie fingers with wiping movements. It makes the cookie finger narrow visually. Since this dough is bare and free of icing, it absorbs water very well and the smooth cookie surface will not be damaged. Make darker green mix and paint in the wrinkles. If you don't want to dip the brush often, work with more liquid dye. Take a liner brush. Paint an outline around the nail with it. Witch finger cookie is ready, and I suggest you to complete it with cool edible ice. We will need an ordinary white marshmallow to create them. Take it in the shape of the cylinder and shape it with the scissors. Start with cutting corner off and trying to make a roundy surface. Now the marshmallow is sticky, but when it dries on air, it will crust over and will stop sticking. I don't recommend to sprinkle it with sugar powder or a stretch now, because we are going to paint it. Once you achieved a desired roundness, roll the marshmallow like a ball. Take a food color gels and brushes. We will need green or blue, red and black dyes. Take a flat brush. As usual, dilute all dyes with water. The flat can be angled or flat. Set the brush in the center. Hold the brush in place and twist the marshmallow itself, or spin the brush around its axis without lifting the brush. Iris of the eyes can be additionally painted. You can increase the diameter or make it brighter. Don't overdo it with water because the outline can become blurry. If you notice blurring, let the surface dry before painting. Take a round brush 1 or 2 and black dye. Draw a circle in the center, the pupil of the eye. Mix the remaining black dye on the brush and green gel to make a contrast color. With the tip of the brush, paint the veins to the pupil. Take the linen brush and black dye. Make a neat outline with black color. To make the outline neatly, it is necessary to control the amount of the moisture on the brush so that it will not get blurry. Now add red cracked capillars with the liner brush and red dye. Just paint chaotic lines over the entire surface. For the convenience, you can put marshmallow eye on a toothpick.